Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new around here. My name is Ashley and I go by the Ashleyness here. We are playing Planet Zoo today, and this is my Esme Zoo, and this is episode number 4. As you can see, we've made quite a lot of progress on this zoo, and our last zoo episode we made this beautiful orangutan habitat. We're just going to take a little quick tour, and it does still need a little love, but we did make an indoor area, as you can see, that the guests can view into. This is the staff area. It's going to get a little attention today. And then inside is where you can see they have a nice huge area to explore and play. We made the beautiful starry night sky here for them. Lots of foliage, lots of beauty happening. Go through the roof a little bit there. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do some beautifying and some areas, and then we're going to go ahead and do a capuchin area. So as we're going along, you can see that we have done these paths along the way in this zoo, and we're just going to continue to mimic it. So this path here, and some of them are where you can actually walk on them, but others are not. These, I believe, I will make not. It's more for aesthetics. So that's basically what we're doing right now. So we're just going ahead and placing them. And then just copying those planters along so it continues on, and then that's pretty much it for this little spot. And then we're gonna go continue on. We're gonna get some background greenery going here. I try not to overdo it with the bamboo, but I mean, in real life it does grow quite a lot and quite large patches if you let it go for it. I did feel it was appropriate to do like a little statue here, considering we're right next to the orangutan area. And then my favorite is the periwinkle here, because it kind of feels like moss, and I'm just kind of spreading that around to make it look a little bit more grown, and then just adding in the rocks. So the idea of this zoo is that it's going to be kind of a modern zoo, but it's also going to be kind of rustic at the same time. As you can see, we're working right next to our ginormous education building that does look quite modern. And so we are kind of making sure that we are respecting both needs of the zoo, of being modern and rustic and high in foliage. And I felt like this was a little too clean here, and so I decided to go ahead and add some little mossy decals on the walls to kind of make it look like pond scum is maybe happening, because this water doesn't look pristine, it doesn't look clear, it looks, you know, like it's kind of dingy, but it's not too bad. And so I really think it's going to look better with all of this on there. But I'm interested in hearing from you. You know, do you think that's maybe not that great looking? Do you think I should have added more, added less, not at all? You know, let me know. And yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep going here, and keep beautifying. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm trying, like I said, to be very detail oriented, and I want to carry a lot of the aesthetics from one area of the zoo to another area of the zoo to make it look very cohesive. So I did grab that path and it flipped over. So that's what the other side looks like, is actually of a gorilla. While that's nice, it's not exactly what I'm shooting for, because like I said, I want it to be able to go throughout the entirety of the park. And here again, we're just adding in this little fake path. It's not going to be one that the guests can use, or even the staff members. It's just there so that we can make it look pretty. So let's see. So yeah, we're just gonna add some more greenery in. Give it that lush look. And we're just gonna keep going. I like to do things in like groups of 3 because I do feel that that helps make it look nice and not like super uniform at the same time. Kind of an odd number seems to do well. And then here I've started covering up my paths with like floor work, yeah, because I find that it makes it look a little nicer. And we're gonna go ahead and try to make this look a little nicer. I'm also trying to add signage around the zoo so it looks a little bit more professional. Even though like they're gonna be in places where people won't see. So like this is a staff along the side of a staff path, you know, so it's kind of like who's gonna actually see that? But you know, it's just for aesthetics. I am carrying these grapevines along the way on the buildings. I did use them extensively on my education building. And so I'm trying to make sure to continue to use them throughout the zoo to also continue on with the cohesive look. Like I said, we're just going to do some beautifying here with the greenery, some of the building work, and then we're going to move along to doing the capuchin monkeys, which I think, you know, is a lot of fun. Which we're almost done with beautifying. The capuchin monkeys are going to go right across from the orangutan enclosure here. Looking good. And then I realized I didn't have any signage, and so like display boards on like what the animals are. And so I go ahead and made this little area, this little stand with bamboo and the billboard. And this is also going to be throughout the zoo. This is in a tropical biome, and so we're carrying that tropical vibe all the way through the zoo. Which will be tricky when we come down to the animals that are not necessarily tropical based. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the tropical look in the non-tropical areas, but we're certainly going to find out as we go. But you know, that's sort of the part of the fun, trying to figure that part out. So here we're going to get going on the capuchin monkeys. It's going to be a pretty simple build. And I kind of have a little hard time figuring out what I want to do. I know I want to do like a, you know, very themed one. So anyway, while I'm building, I'm going to give you some information on capuchin monkeys. We do have the white-faced capuchin, or otherwise known as the white-headed capuchin. The range is primarily in South America, in western Colombia and northwest Ecuador, although its range extends to the easternmost portion of Panama. Also, they are readily identified as the organ grinder monkey and have been used in many movies and television shows. The capuchin is considered to be one of the most intelligent New World monkeys. Some are known to use tools. These include the white-headed capuchins rubbing secretions from leaves over their bodies, using leaves as gloves when rubbing fruit, or caterpillar secretions and using tools as probes. The capuchin monkey feeds on a vast range of food types and is more varied than other monkeys. They are omnivorous. They consume a variety of plants such as leaves, flowers, and fruits, seeds, pith, woody tissue, sugarcane, bulbs, as well as arthropods, mollusks, and a variety of vertebrates, and even other primates. Recent findings of old stone tools in capuchin habitats have suggested that recently the capuchins have switched from small nuts such as cashews to larger and harder nuts. Cashews. Capuchins have also been observed to be particularly good at catching frogs. They are characterized as an innovative and extreme foragers because of their ability to acquire substances from a wide collection of unlikely food, which may assure their survival in habitats with extreme food limitation. Capuchins living near water will also eat crabs, shellfish, and shellfish by cracking their shells with stones. They are rated as least concern by the International Union of Conservation of Nature. So here in the building, back at the building, we see that I am desperately trying to make this work. I did a lot of the bamboo, and I started to do this stonework at the bottom because I was very much wanting to relate it into my other building, particularly the building of the education one. I'm trying to get the rustic going here, trying to get a good vibe of different textures and colors into this. Now, as you will see, I actually do have a disconnect with this enclosure. I go all the way through the steps and I enjoy it, but then I end up just ditching it, which you're gonna see here any minute. So I am gonna speed up the video here a little bit more, and then we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the conversation about it. So here we're at the end of the build of this one, and while it is nice, it is not up to standards of what I am looking for in this zoo and in my builds for this zoo, and I do not like it, and so I actually have decided to not use it, and I ditched it. And I think that it's important to show that sometimes we do work on things that we do not like, and we can start over. So using a little no magic, and to save time on everybody's sakes, I went ahead and rebuilt it, and I'm going to give you a tour of the rebuild so that we're not having to watch a big long build video and everything. So here we go. This is the finished result. It is very pretty, much better looking than the other one. It looks more in tune to the detail work that I am looking for. And it has a passover, and it's just so pretty, and it's just modern and rustic all at the same. I did give them a little back area here into the kind of the wild jungle area. Inside their private area, they have lots of detail work and things, and here's one of the capuchins just enjoying their time. We have lots of foliage in here, lots of leaf litter on the floor, lots of toys, their little feeding area over here, which is private. Whoops, we're over the roof a little bit. We're gonna go over and we're gonna view this walk through here, where the guests are just enjoying the views. You can look in all the way around this smaller section. I have, you know, the signage is up. They can climb a lot. It doesn't look as tight through this space between, and they got the nice clear area here to view in. And, you know, they can just go all the way around. And I feel that it definitely looks up to par. And I apologize if you guys were actually hoping to see how that build worked out, but, you know, I just made a decision to go ahead and not have you guys sit through a whole nother build that may not work because I wasn't sure at the time. But I think it worked out great. It's beautiful. I love it. And I look forward to more in the future and what it's going to bring in for this season of the zoo. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you have the time or the energy. I do want to hear from you, especially about skipping over. I'm very curious about that. Thank you again, and I hope you have a beautiful day, night, or whatever time it is for you. Bye.